not to give your strength unto women, nor ways to that which destroyeth kings. And this is from Proverbs 31-3, which we are going to explore in today's coaching video, guys, just because this is very, very critical knowledge that you guys must have, especially in today's world, today's dating environment, I should say. As I've said over and over, the Bible is one of the most red-pilled books, if not the most red-pilled book on the planet. I mean, this was written several hundreds of years ago, and the knowledge still applies today. So let's go through Proverbs 31-3, the Bible warning you as a man to not give your strength unto women, nor ways to that which destroyeth kings. I mean, it's pretty self-evident in the verse itself, but we're going to dig a little bit deeper into this, and I'm just going to share a little bit with you. It's from the book of Proverbs again, and it basically, the book of Proverbs ends with King Lemuel giving an oracle that his mother taught him, her own son. Hey, do not trust other women. I mean, a woman, his mother, telling him to not trust another woman. She's saying, my son, do not give your strength unto women, nor your ways to that which destroyeth kings. And basically, King Lemuel's mother in the Bible was basically teaching him and telling him and warning him not to forfeit his strength as a man, as a leader, as a king, for his passions for a female, right? And not to lose his credibility or his ability to lead other men by allowing himself to be influenced by a woman. There's an example, King Solomon, right? King Solomon, you guys who are familiar with King Solomon, he had many wives, many concubines, right? Many women. And in the end, this guy was a complete mess. And he really ruined his kingdom because the women in his life basically turned his heart to other gods, right? Rather than the God. And basically, this verse is kind of like self-explanatory that, especially in today's times, especially with red pill knowledge. I mean, you see, I've said it a million times on my channel that women are huge, gigantic distractions, right? And back then, in the days of the Bible, I mean, obviously they didn't have the advanced knowledge that we have today when it comes to dating and, the court systems and whatnot. They basically had wise men, and a lot of these guys were, pretty much for the most part, blue pill. They would not listen, and they would not heed the advice of the scriptures. So they ended up ruining their kingdoms, they ended up ruining themselves. They changed their ways, right? A lot of you guys who are in these relationships with girls, you let them change you. What have I told you about letting women change you, right? You let them change you, let them change your habits. You let them take away your good habits and trade them for bad habits, right? And then next thing you know, this girl's like out the door, and then you start hitting me up when you're in damage control, trying to find the quick fix. And I'm like, there's no quick fix. You did a lot of damage here, right? You have to go back multiple steps in order to fix this. But the point is, it's like you basically give your strength onto your woman, right? And then you start adopting her ways. You start adopting her habits. You start changing your own habits. You abandon who you are, and you kind of start mimicking her behaviors instead of mimicking your own. You have to be aware of that in these relationships that you get into, that you cannot take on, the habits that she is trying to force upon you, because you might have some good habits right now. Like when you meet the girl, like most guys, right? They're this badass alpha male, like in phenomenal shape. They're hitting the gym hard. They're crushing in life. They're building their business. They're moving up in their career. They're taking care of their finances. And then they meet this hot girl who's a little bit above what they're used to getting, right? It's a little hotter than what they're used to dating. And then they fall in love, right? They fall under her beautiful woman spell. And then they start ruining their lives, right? The girl becomes the star of their own movie. And then they start losing their own identity. And they start forgetting who they are. And then it gets to the point where they can't even function as an independent unit anymore without her, without the girl. They can't feel happy without her. They basically adopt, the habits and the ways that destroyeth kings, that destroyeth themselves. And when you're in that relationship, you have to be the king. You have to be the leader. You have to be the alpha at all times. You cannot abandon who you are in order to please her, right? I mean, even the Bible is telling you this. Even King Solomon himself warned his own sons, just based from his own experiences. I'm just going to read a passage right here from the Bible. It says, for the lips, this is what Solomon had warned his sons about. So I'm going to read it verbatim as written here. For the lips of a forbidden woman drip honey, and her speech is smoother than oil, but in the end she is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps follow the path to Sheol. Keep your way far from her, and do not go near the door of her house, lest you give your honor to others and your years to the merciless, lest strangers take their fill of your strength and your labors to go to the house of a foreigner. Proverbs 5-1. What he's saying here is basically a man's wealth, a man's labor, everything he has worked hard for will be sucked away by the black hole of the forbidden woman, right? And I guess what they mean by forbidden woman is like what I'm telling you guys in present day is basically that woman that is just a little bit above you, because that's usually what throws guys off. Most guys are able to act normal around a woman who's pretty much at his level or a little bit below that, right? But when it's a female who's just a bit above his social value, right? Just a bit above what he's used to getting and a bit above what he's used to dating, that's when he loses his ability to act normal. He loses his ability to be himself. And then he starts kind of like qualifying himself to her. And this is where pickup and game come in, basically. I mean, this is really what I teach guys to do because, you know, obviously I'm teaching guys how to get the 8s, 9s, and 10s. Those are obviously the hotter women. So a lot of guys are not used to that. Most guys are used to like 5s, 6s, tops. That's pretty much their comfort zone. But once they get above that, even to the 7s, it starts throwing them off, where I notice a very quick shift in their ability to act normal. In the case of being a king in the Bible, I mean, this basically, once you had one of these forbidden women in your life, it meant the end of your kingdom. It's like it was already written. Like, oh, this guy's gonna screw his kingdom now because he's got that forbidden woman. He's got that woman that he's not used to getting. He's not used to being with. That's just a little above his social value. And then the man ends up destroying himself. And then what happens in the end, right? The woman just takes off and then she just goes to the bigger, better deal. That's essentially what happens. So basically, these passages in the Bible are saying that Solomon, you know, because he was with like multiple wives and such, he did not have the inner strength to really hold on to who he was. I mean, he let these scores of women in his life turn his heart away from God and turn him towards evil. And all the labor and all the work and all the strength and all the resources and all the things he was building, right, for good, he started basically doing all that for evil and spending even more time on worthless projects and just kind of like running around in circles and really exhausting his energy, strength, and life and man hours in doing things that were not helping him, but were basically helping, you know, to build more evil, so to speak, right? But the point is, the glory of men is their strength, right? That's what it says in the Bible. The glory of a man is his strength. When Paul exhorts to the Corinthians to be strong, he admonishes them to act like men. This is in 1 Corinthians 16-13, right? Basically tells you to act like a man. This strength means sacrificial obedience to God. It means obeying God all the way up to and including death. This is the pattern that Jesus, the perfect man, gave to us in his life and death. The glory of masculine strength is to be used for the good and protection of women, but this glory is not to be given away to women, okay? As basically said in the Bible, the glory of masculine strength is to be used for the good and protection of women, if need be, but this glory is not to be given away to women. You got that? This is the downfall. Literally says this. This is the downfall of homes, churches, kingdoms, and civilizations. It says this word for word. That when you give your strength onto women, this is the downfall of homes, your home, churches, kingdoms, and civilizations. Now, unfortunately today, most guys, including a lot of guys who claim they're Christian, are giving their strength onto women because that's what they're being told to do. they're being told to do this, you know, and that's why hopefully, you know, these guys find channels like mine, programs like mine, where we tell you to do otherwise. We don't tell you to treat women like garbage, but we just tell you to do otherwise, right? So again, it says in the Bible itself, do not give your strength unto women or ways to that which destroyeth kings. So until next time, I'm going to wrap up here. This is M from the 33 Secrets, signing out from the Venetian Hotel up here in Vegas. Don't forget to smash that like button below, and also hit that notification bell right next to it so you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on my YouTube channel. Also, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Okay, very, very important you guys subscribe, so please do that now. Subscribe to the 33 Secrets. And for you guys who want to support my work and all of this red pill, gold pill, and platinum pill content even further, the best way to do that is by jumping into my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, where I'm teaching guys just like you how to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, that's right, I said hottest, most beautiful looking women on the planet. I'm talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s. The same exact type of women that myself and my students are out there cold approaching and closing every single week, and I kid you not, every single week. So, if you want to support me, that's the absolute best way to do it, and all you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It's only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons from me. It's only $1, so take advantage of it. Click that link below in my description box, head over to my website, get signed up now, only takes 2 seconds, and I will see you in my next coaching video.